What is up, you guys? Welcome back. It has been a while, but I don't do this for a living. As you guys know, I've got a brand and other things that I do. So when the game gets boring, I just stop playing it, you know? And if there's not content to create around it, then I don't really stress about it. I just do other things. So that being said, we're back, and hopefully for 2K25, we're gonna be back for a little bit longer this year. It's just naturally the life of 2K that it dies out midway or a little bit after through the year, but hopefully this one lasts a little bit longer, and I kind of think it might, and we're going to talk about that. But all that being said, I'm not here to waste your guys' time. We're going to jump right into it. So a like, a comment, a sub, any of it, none of it, some of it, whatever, but I would appreciate it, and I'd love for you guys to be a part of the community. Plus, I want to give back to you guys in some type of capacity this year, whether it be a giveaway of VC or whatever it is, but something 2K related, obviously, because that's what you want and that's what's going to benefit you the most. But I'd like to give back to you guys. So if you sub up, maybe you can win that or be a part of that later on. Not sure what we're going to do, but definitely want to give back to you guys because I appreciate all of the support, and hopefully coming back after taking some time off, you guys are still hanging around. I've been getting comments from you guys saying, are you coming back? Are you going to make content? I am. We're here. Let's get into it. Obviously, the build that I'm about to show you guys is not done, and I don't know if it's good, and I don't know if you should make it, and I don't know anything. None of us know anything really. The game's barely been out for 24 hours, so take everything, you know, with a grain of salt. I'm just showing you what I've done, telling you why I did it, and giving you my input of what I think is going to come this year in 2K25 and what we can expect. Other than that, I just want to give you guys whatever information I've been able to gather over the past day to maybe help you make your build, or at least understand the mechanics of the game maybe a little bit. So this is the build. Yes, it's at shooting guard. Yes, it's 6'7". No, it's not 6'8". No, it's not 6'9". Is it LeBron? Whatever. If you guys aren't new here, then you know already that I make builds based off of how I can make it be the most like the player in the game. Now, for the version of LeBron that I wanted, I had to go 6'7". I wanted a little bit higher ball handle. I wanted a little bit higher shooting. So I ended up going 6'7". I looked at it at 6'8". I looked at it at 6'9". I didn't hate them, but just of how I wanted it to be initially starting out with the game, I felt safer going with the 6'7", being a little bit more well-rounded and being able to be the version of LeBron that I want it to be. Now, 6'7" doesn't feel like too small of a build to be LeBron in this either, and it didn't feel too small in a build of 2K24 either. Both of my rebounding wings that I made last year towards the end of the year were 6'7", and they were amazing, and I was running the center and going up against 7-footers and 7'1s and having no issues. Now, this isn't 2K24. I don't know if it's gonna play out like that, but being a shooting guard at 6'7", when the meta is 6'3" or very small guards right now, I like the mismatch that I'm getting, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you guys about that and tell you why I made this build the way that I made it and at the position I made it. You can make this build at the small forward or at the power forward. It's not gonna change anything in terms of attributes. As long as you can get 6'7" and get the same wingspan, then you can make the same build at whatever position and nothing's gonna change. I'm pretty sure you can definitely do it at small forward. I'm pretty sure you can do it at power forward. Now, obviously in the clips that you guys are gonna see, this build isn't done, and I'm gonna show you guys right now. This is what the build's looking like right now, and all these clips that you're gonna see, because I do have gameplay for you and things like that. So this is what the build's looking like right now. I haven't invested into any finishing at all. I haven't invested into any strength at all. I haven't invested into my vertical at all, but I'm still getting some rebounds. I'm still getting some chase down blocks. So I'm really excited to see what this build looks like when it is complete and the capabilities that it has. But this is what it's looking like now. If I were to wait until the build was done in order to put up a video for you guys, then that wouldn't really do you any good. It would be more entertaining, and I'll put up another video when we have more gameplay, when the build is completed and we can do an update. But right now I'm just trying to get out information to you guys to give you as much info as you can get before you make your build if you haven't already, or just to give you my input and what I've learned so far in the past 24 hours of play. Not even 24 hours. I played maybe for 6 to 10 hours maybe, but either way. So for me, I went at 6'7". You don't have to, but with what I wanted with a little bit higher shooting, I think it was, and the speed with ball, I think was the main thing. I ended up going 6'7", and 6'7" doesn't feel like too small of a build. They didn't feel too small in 2K24, and I don't think they're gonna feel too small here. I actually think that height is gonna play a lot bigger of a role in this 2K than it did in the last 2K, and here's why. Small guards in 2K25 obviously get an insane amount of attributes, and when you look in the builder and you look at attributes you get at like a taller guard, there's not really anything to combat that. What I think is going to naturally combat how good their builds are is height and weight or strength. Now, I don't think they're gonna put a ton of like importance into strength, but I think it will matter. I enjoyed my builds with strength last year, but you didn't have to use them. I don't think you'll have to use strength in this one just because I don't think they'll make strength play that much of a role. Maybe, we'll see. But I feel like you'll really be able to bully. And if so many people are going to be going 6'3", I think that height in strength will be able to combat that because you'll shoot over them or you'll bully them if you're handling the ball, because they will have high defense and high steal, and you will have lower ball handle and lower speed with ball, but you'll be able to put a body into them. And I think that that's going to play a role, especially when there's things like strong handle, which is like a badge from last year that I can't remember the name of, but reduces the likelihood of being bothered by defenders when dribbling. So when there's badges like this that you get out of strength, is this badge going to matter or be worth anything? I don't know, but I feel like this is going to help you combat how good those small guards are, but I could totally be wrong. We don't know. So we'll just go through this build and I'll tell you guys why I made it the way that I made it. But I do think that height and strength or weight is going to play a bigger role in this 2K, just because naturally, like, you can't see anything else to combat these small guards and all the attributes that they get. So assuming 2K built something in, so to speak, to combat that, I would assume that it would be height. You're able to shoot over them. They're not able to shoot over you. Because last year in 24, I had homies who were on 5'9s, 6 foots, and they were shooting over 6'6s and even 6'8s and 6'9s and not being contested nearly as much as they should have been. Like, it was an issue. Like, yes, on a 6'6 or a 6'8, they were getting better shots and it was easier, but on a 5'9, they were still getting shots that were ridiculous. Like, I had a homie get a 50-point game on a 5'9 and he was shooting the whole game. They couldn't stop him. How can you not stop a 5'9 and he's shooting over you? Yes, he's shooting from deep, but I mean, defenders play up on you and pinch up on you. It wasn't being contested as nearly as much as it should have been, in my opinion. So I think that height is going to play, and I feel like it has to play, at least based off of what we can see and what we have seen in the builder now. Height has to play a role. So either way, I went with the bigger guard. One, because it's going to be a harder learning curve, definitely with the ball handle and everything this year. So I'm going to go ahead and just jump into it now. 2, I wanted to make a LeBron build. And 3, I didn't really want to start the year having to be the point guard because people just, if you make the wrong pass, get mad at you. And I wanted to start the year and jump into a couple games and try to not get angry immediately. So being the role player and playing some defense, if no one's going to pass me the ball, even if, if you're not at the point guard, maybe you don't get the ball at all, but I can at least play defense and have a good time. And I enjoy that. And I enjoy defensive builds, and you guys know that. So we made this. So little builder secret, I guess you'd call it. Once you guys get in the builder and you're messing with the stuff, you guys probably don't even need me this year or builder secrets videos because they kind of lay everything out in here. So look, if you hit RB, or if you're on PlayStation, R1, whatever, but you can scroll over to your takeovers, right? Badges, takeovers. Now, if you press Y or triangle, look at the bottom right of your screen, view qualified takeovers. Press Y, that shows you this. So if you go into badges and you press Y, this is the new view that you're going to get. So you get this, and then it tells you, you can look through these badges and you can look at what their requirements are. So in order to get to silver, I need 82. In order to get to gold, I need 92. In order to get Hall of Fame, I need 95. So on, right? So press Y or triangle when you're in the builder and it'll give you a ton of information. Takeovers, same thing. So like a reason I went with 83, I think it is right here. So if at 79.3, I don't get these other takeovers, but at 83, you don't get a badge. You don't get a badge, you don't get anything. Maybe you unlock an animation, I don't know. But in takeovers, when I go from 79 to 80, I unlock the spot up shooter, offensive threat, make it rain, all that. And these give me the potential to level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, boost my 3-point shot by 10. So at 79 3-ball, I didn't even have those takeovers unlocked. So there's a ton of different takeovers in this 2K. And based off of how high your attributes are the ones that you'll be able to use or not use, if that makes sense. So I knew I wanted to go to 80 because I had heard someone talking about this so that I could unlock the spot up shooter and all these other offensive ones. But then, since I ended up going 6'7" and getting the smaller wingspan and all that, I ended up going to 83. That way I could get limitless range bronze. Now that's just me messing around and seeing like, oh, well, I'm only 3 points away. I think initially I was gonna go to like 78 or 79 just because that's what we were at last year. But then I heard about the 80 thing, so I went to 80. And then I looked just at the badges in here. All you have to do is scroll down. I was like, oh, well, limitless range is at 83. I'm on a bigger build. And I know that if I can get that limitless range bronze in the builder, then I can use my badge boost or whatever it is to put that to silver. So even though I don't unlock silver limitless range, you get these things now in 2K to where you can boost your badge a level higher than what it is. So my limitless range badge based off of my attributes maxes out at bronze. but I can put it to silver. Now, if I didn't have it at all, then maybe I could put it to bronze. So since I saw that I was only 3 points away from it bronze, which means I could boost it to silver later if I wanted to, I went ahead and went there just because shooting's always important in 2K and it's always safe, right? Like you can nerf finishing, you can nerf layups, or you can nerf dunks, or you can buff them, right? Last year we saw a huge buff in layups and people were investing into them a lot, even not investing into dunk and only investing into layup. But shooting, I think, is always going to be there. There's always going to be a learning curve, but it's always going to be viable and it's always going to be a part of the game. So it's a safe thing to have, especially on your first build, and have higher, right? So 92 MIDI, that's going to get us the gold Deadeye, and then 83 is going to get us, 3 ball is going to get us a limitless range bronze. So that's why I went with that. I don't even know how I got into this segment. I'm kind of just yapping and learning this as I'm talking to you guys as well, and like relearning, because this is so fresh to me too. So I'm yapping, my bad. This is the build. Let me talk to you guys about it. Close shot is just there by default. Layup is just there by default. 87 driving dunk with a 75 vertical. We're gonna get the silver posterizer, and to be honest, I don't even know why this is good. I don't even know what animations I unlock, but from all the things that I heard, all the other streamers and people playing that I watch and everything they talked about, kind of the bare minimum, like, oh, if you want to have good dunk, is like an 87.75, and it's like a really good budget. It's almost like a floor spacing slasher of last year. Let's just say that, keep it simple. 87.75. So I wanted to be LeBron. Now, current day LeBron isn't even going crazy with the dunks, obviously, like he used to, like in Miami days and things like that. So I didn't even have to go this high. I probably could have just went to like 70 or something, but kind of wanted that floor spacing slasher vibe, right? So this is pretty much a floor spacing slasher now that I think about it, just at 6'7". So 87 driving dunk with the 75, that's gonna get you the silver posterizer. But to be honest, guys, like I can't give you much information. Like I don't know what you unlock here. I don't know why it's good. I just know what I've heard and I built it the way I built it. I can show you guys clips and I can show you how this build's been for me. Not with dunking because we haven't done that yet. Post control, we're up at 84. Now I went to 84 specifically because I get the post fade phenom Hall of Fame. Now, don't forget, there is another tier of badges this year. So as you guys can see here, right? You see the bottom right of the screen, you see the red badge, right? You've got bronze, silver, gold, Hall of Fame, which is purple, and then you've got red. Red is legend. So again, now I'm not gonna do this, but I have post fade phenom Hall of Fame, purple, right? I can make it legend later if I want. So I think that builds are going to be very cool, and I feel like there's going to be longevity in the game, and hopefully it keeps me here a little bit longer with you guys this year, because the builds that you make initially are going to be very different once you unlock specific things throughout the seasons. And build like this build later on in the season, when I unlock all of the badge unlocks, because I think you get 1 per season or 2 per season, it's gonna be so different, because badges I've only had on bronze, I can make silver, gold, Hall of Fame, legendary, whatever. And you're just gonna learn more throughout the year too. So I think there's gonna be a lot of longevity to it. And I think that it's gonna be really fun, because now when you're making builds, 1, you can see everything, right? But 2, yes, you're investing into attributes, but like I didn't go to 83 3 ball so I could get bronze limitless range. I went to 83 ball so I could get silver limitless range. Does that make sense? So it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be very interesting, and I think it's going to make the longevity of the builds be like pretty good. So either way, post controls on 84. That way I could get post fade phenom, because when I'm in the post, that's the only thing that I do is post fades or post hop shots. So 92 mid range. I just knew I wanted high midi. My favorite builds from last year, the ones I was the greenest on, had lower 3 balls and higher midis. So I went with that. And we get the Deadeye gold, and set shot specialist gold, and shifty shooter gold. Now that's tied in with your agility. So again, you guys know this, just look at things like attributes have other attributes that go with them to make them the best, right? So last year it was like, if you invested into layup, but you didn't invest into strength, you wouldn't get fearless finisher at all. So people would have like 90 layup, but like bronze fearless finisher, because they left their strength down rather than put it up, and they had the potential to get like a gold fearless finisher or whatever. So there's always like an attribute rating that goes with another attribute rating, pretty much. So like with midi, as you see, shifty shooter, 76 agility, and either 96 mid range. That's in order to get it up again. But in order to get shifty shooter, I had to put that agility up. Initially, I wasn't gonna put my agility that high, I don't think. So just things to remember. 83 3 ball. Free throw 81, you don't get free points this year, so I don't, like, my free throws feel fine. I'm just using Michael Jordan. I think also free throws are locked behind heights now. So I think if you're on a small guard, like, you can't use Michael Jordan free throw because you're under 6'6" or 6'5", I think. It's what I heard from watching someone else, but either way, I went 81 free throw just to be safe. I mean, I'm hitting my free throws, it's fine, so I don't know. You don't unlock a badge with it, so I'm not really sure. I'm learning with you guys. So 75 pass accuracy. Now, I wish I talked about this when I first opened the build, because you guys have probably already watched it and been like, this isn't LeBron. How do you have a shooting guard? How is it 6'7"? It's only 220. It has a short wingspan. It doesn't have any pass. It plays like LeBron in the game. This is a video game. This build plays like LeBron. I'm showing you clips. I've showed you clips. You know, I'm probably gonna put a highlight in the beginning of this video to try and keep you guys here, because you're not gonna believe that this plays like LeBron, but it does, and I don't even have finishing invested into. But 75 pass accuracy, is it enough? I will play some clips right now. You guys can see it. That's 75. I don't know how much better or how much worse it gets. I don't know how low you get. We don't know the thresholds, but 75 has felt fine in the 12 hours of the game that I have played. Do with that what you will. 75 is fine. I don't feel like I sacrificed anything. I'm making good passes. I'm making long passes. All of this, you guys are seeing it now. It's totally fine. It feels good. And you get dimers. So the reason I like even, you can go even lower. Like, you can go 71 pass and you still get silver dimer. And dimer is like a pretty important badge. I remember 2K20 having dimer, like, we would invest a pass and it would cost a lot and we would always get like Hall of Fame dimer. So getting silver at 71, I feel like that's pretty low to get silver dimer, in my opinion. So I went ahead and just put it to 75. That way I could also get break starter silver. And then again, I could then make break starter gold or dimer gold. So like for passing, for instance, I'm not going crazy for rebounds on this, right? But let's say I'm at the 3 or the 4 and I'm getting more rebounds, but I have lower pass because I've invested into crazy defense. So I only put my pass act to 75 so I can get the silver break starter. But I'm the secondary rebounder. Well, I can put that silver break starter to gold break starter. And now I didn't have to waste attributes investing to get up to gold break starter because I unlocked it with my badge upgrade later. So that's why these builds are going to be really, really fun. Once we really learn like what's going on here, we're really going to be able to be like, well, I'm not going to, like, these are the badges that are good. These are the badges I do want, I don't want. Well, I know I can save here because with passing, all I need is break starter gold. So I'll go to 75 because then I can upgrade that to gold later with my, I don't even know what it's called, badge upgrade or whatever it is. So it's going to be fun because it's going to allow you to make the, like, I feel like builds are going to be very, very like custom, so to speak. Like, people that make a build for themselves is truly going to be a build for themselves. Not that there's going to be metas, obviously, but there's going to be so many like nitpicky little things where it's like, oh, well, you know, I only went to 75 pass act because I know I can get break starter gold with my badge upgrade later, and vice versa with other things. So it's going to be very interesting. 81 ball handle. Now I went to that just so I can get the silver handles for days. I think I was even gonna go, I think I was gonna go to 80. I was gonna go pretty low on this because I was gonna make it 6'8" or 6'9", and I was gonna be at small forward or power forward, so I wouldn't have to handle the ball. But then I saw Koza playing on his 6'7", and it looks really fun. And I typically I do like facilitating and being like a ball handler. And if I'm not doing that, then I just like playing defense and shooting, you know, if you pass me the ball. So either way, I wanted to feel things out on this game. We're already on a big guard, so it's already harder. So I went ahead and didn't make it too hard on myself. I put the ball handle up to 81. I've got handles for days silver. We'll see what happens. The main thing was the speed with ball. One, you get lightning launch. Now this, when I made this build, was one of those things. And I think this will be a big role with mismatches and later on in the game. So if you get a 6'8" and you get a 6 or a 6'9", right? And you're at the 3 or the 4. For sure at 6'8", maybe a 6'9". I think you can get, yeah, both. So let's say you're on a 6'9" and you only have a 68 speed with ball, right? And you're at the 4. So your opponent is probably the same. Maybe you have like a 6'10", a 6'11" opponent, like the other player is a 6'10", a 6'11", right? Like a KD build or something like that, right? And you only have 68. Well, you have 68 speed with ball, you only have bronze lightning launch, but you could upgrade that bronze to silver with your badge thing that we keep referring to. And then that'll help you on the mismatch, right? So like if you're an undersized 4, let's say at 6'7", 6'8", or 6'9", and you have a more oversized 4 against you, like a 6'10", a 6'11", maybe, you're going to be significantly faster than them, not only in speed and agility, but if you are able, or for some reason have your speed with the ball this high and you get that lightning launch, now you catch it out the corner, you're not looking to create, you're not trying to like dribble and go crazy, but if you catch it out the corner and you got silver lightning launch instead of the bronze because you used your little upgrade, now you can catch that and maybe you get that quick first step, get the back door, whatever it is. So I think it's going to be really, really interesting, and I keep saying that, but things like this like are very intriguing to me, and I think are going to play a big role. Like mismatches, I think are going to be a big deal, or like fun. You're going to really be able to work your mismatch more, you know? So as long as you can hold your own, whether you're undersized or oversized, I think because there's going to be something to combat that too. Yeah, you might get the silver lightning launch, but maybe that guy, you know, saved attributes somewhere but upgraded a badge elsewhere to combat that. So it's like, I think it's very interesting, and I think it's gonna be very fun. That to say, I went to 75 speed with ball specifically so I could get specific dribble styles, and I'm gonna show you guys. Oh, I didn't tell you that. So I went to 75 speed with the ball so that I could get specific dribble moves and animations like unlocked. Maybe it was for Devin Booker, or maybe it was for like Zach LaVine or something. I'm gonna show you guys all my animations and SIGs and like what I'm using, but I went 75 speed with ball, 1, so I could get the better lightning launch, and 2, because you need 75 speed with ball to unlock certain dribble styles. So I went there. Interior, I put it up to 60. Now that gets me paint patroller bronze. Now, if I'm gonna be like LeBron-ish, and now I'm at the 2, so I don't really need this, but again, I wanted to play like LeBron. I should probably be more running on the break rather than crashing for a board, but whatever, I end up down there. I had 6 rebounds yesterday, and well, that was the only other day that I could have played this game, but I had 6 rebounds last night, and I don't even have my vertical invested into yet. So it's really just a placement thing. So that being said, sometimes you're down there and I just wanted to have something to help me a little bit more. So I went up to 60 to get the paint patroller bronze. And then again, if I want, I can put that to silver. I don't really want to, but don't forget. 74 perimeter, I'm just testing it out, but that gets me the 3 bronze and 2 silver. I have a badge in every category, so that's good. And then I can put that on-ball menace defensively to silver if I want, or the challenger to silver, or the pick dodger to silver, sorry. With the challenger bronze, on-ball menace bronze, and the pick dodger bronze, I could put any of those to silver. I don't know how it works. I don't know if you'll be able to put all of them or only some of them or whatever, how it works. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't done it yet. So I just went to 74. That way I could get a badge in every category basically, and not be like, I don't know if defense is how it's gonna play. I just didn't want to be a total liability, but I still went lower, but I feel fine. Now, given people don't really know how to create yet, people aren't getting saucy with it yet, so maybe I get cooked, but I'm not, we'll see. I don't know. But this gives me a badge in every category, and then if I want to upgrade anything, like if Challenger's super OP, I can just put that Challenger to silver with the badge upgrade, or same with On-Ball Menace or Pick Dodger, or a Movable Enforcer, or Off-Ball Pest up to gold. So 74, I felt good. I feel like at the very least, depending on your play style or what it is, you should try and get a badge in every category. That way you can just at least upgrade the badge. Even if you only work to get a badge to bronze, you can upgrade it to silver if you see it worth it or whatever. And that's where it's gonna come into play, where like you can really get creative with all of this. Steel, I have it on 85. That's gonna get me the Interceptor Gold. I did that because watching Koza play, he said that the lanes felt really good when he played at Community Day, and I watched him play, you know, when he played the day early plus yesterday, and he was in the lanes a bit. So I went ahead and went to 85, and plus I want to be more like LeBron and I want to be in the lanes, so we went with 85. Again, we're making this to play like LeBron, so 85 steel I think is very suitable for that, especially with the gold interceptor. And since we've got the shorter arms, hopefully that'll help us get a better animation and get us that lunge that we need to hop into the lane. Block, I went up to 78. Now you guys are seeing I got some blocks with this. I actually got a very, very LeBron-esque block, but it didn't have audio. I wish you could hear it, but I hit it off the glass. It was very, very LeBron-esque, and again, I don't even have vertical invested into in all of the clips that you guys are seeing. I don't have vertical, I don't have strength, I don't have dunk, I don't have layup. I have standing dunk up to 53, that's it. So 78 block, I'm very, very excited to see the capabilities of it. Thaddy, who I said has a build at 6'7", that's like this, but without all the ball handle and a little bit more defensive. He also went 78 block, and he has his vert invested into, and I don't even think he has it at 75. Maybe he does. Yeah, he does, because he got the high flying denier silver. But either way, high flying denier silver, and he's getting really good blocks already and good animations and all that. And I'm even getting good animations now, having not actually invested into any of it. So have I invested into any of it? Yeah, so I invested into my block, but I didn't invest into my vertical. So I don't even think I have, yeah, I don't even have high flying denier. I don't think I have it at all. Because right now on my build, My vertical is only naturally at 54. Yeah, so I don't even have it. So there's that. So very excited to see the capabilities of that, but which you guys saw maybe 1 or 2 blocks that I've gotten so far, but it's going to be worth it. And I think it's going to be very similar to last year. Like 78 block is going to be a very, very good budget block rating, especially if you're on the bigger guards like a 6'6 or 6'7. Offensive rebound, I went up to 66 just because I had extra points, but if you go to 60, that's going to get you the rebound chaser bronze. And again, I'm trying to play a little bit more like LeBron's. I've got box out beast bronze here. Did I say LeBron's? I got rebound chaser bronze. Now I went up to 66 just because I had extra attributes, but I'm trying to play a bit more like LeBron. I don't know if I said LeBron's or not, but LeBron. So I went ahead and invested into that rebound. You guys don't have to, but the things that felt pretty cheap here was actually driving dunk on this build felt pretty cheap. Rebound was very, very cheap. And other than that, that's really all I can remember. Nothing, like, it's pretty well balanced. There's not really too much you can get away with, I don't feel like, with the builds. Like, there's gonna be something that each build can get away with, like, oh, this is really cheap on this height, but I feel like driving dunk was pretty cheap. Like, we're at 87 right now. I mean, I feel like last year going from 70 to 87, I mean, it does put you to a 99, but like, I feel like you wouldn't have been able to get that far last year. So I feel like driving dunk on the 6'7", at least, maybe even the 6'8", 6'9", I feel like it's pretty cheap. So that was something I noticed as well, just sharing information with you guys. Speed, I went with 85, and to be honest, I'm feeling still a little bit slow. Now, listen, I'm feeling a little bit slow at times, but one, we don't have a motion style figured out yet on the best one. So we're just running, like, people are just, it's trial and error. So right now, the ones that I've tried, I still feel a little clunky. But I think the biggest thing of that is, regardless, because I've seen guards, like 6'3" guards with like 85 and 87 speed, and they're super fast. But they have different motion styles, and also it's easier for them, like with ball and whatnot. But either way, well, if they have the ball handle, but either way, I think a big thing about it, one, it's a whole new game. So yes, I feel a little clunkier and I don't have a motion style, but I feel like you don't recover as well in this 2K. So like if you make a mistake, you make a mistake, and it's hard to recover from it. And they penalize you more for it, which I think is dope. And it makes more sense. So if I make a mistake, I can't just like double tap my trigger or like somehow get, go from changing my momentum, going completely this way to turning around and getting back on my defender or whatever. Like if you mess up, you kind of, it feels like you can't recover as fast, which I think is good. So it's just a learning curve of the game and just learning like the mechanics of the game itself, and then we'll be good. But I do feel a little bit slower, and I did invest into my speed and my agility all the way right off the rip. So I think it's just a motion style thing, and again, just like new game learning it. So 85 speed I think is going to be more than enough, because Thaddy I think is only at like an 81 speed, and he feels totally fine. So it's not that I feel slow, but I think it's more learning the mechanics of the game. So just sharing that information with you. But 85 speed, 75 agility. Now agility is like agility, it says right here. If you look as well, right, look at the screen where it says agility, without the ball, affects how fast a player can accelerate, move in short bursts, and move laterally. So agility, that's what it's doing for you. So it helps with your lateral movement. So if you've got high perimeter, you should probably invest in agility. Now, if you're wondering why stamina is in here, I'll hit that real quick. You just start out with 85 stamina. Everyone starts out with 85 stamina, and then you go and you work out, and then you boost up your stamina every workout that you do, every 4 workouts that you complete. And then once your stamina, I believe, hits 99, then you're good and it stays there. Almost like Gym Rat back in 2K20 kind of, but way easier to get, it seems like, which is cool. They kind of just made it like stamina, which is good because it's kind of really hard to figure stamina out. Like, how much should I invest? How much shouldn't I? Like, either I would always just go 99 and it's super cheap anyways, but now you don't even have to worry about it. So there's that. 75 agility though is what I went with, because if I go 71, I'm going to get Pig Dodger, which I wanted to be a little bit more defensive. But if I go 72, I get Shifty Shooter Gold. Shifty Shooter is a badge that a lot of people are talking about, not because we know if it's good, but it seems like it should be good. Almost like a mini magician. Improves a player's ability to successfully make high difficulty jump shots. So it's like mini magician, but it says jump shots. So that means it should be able to help you anywhere, meaning the 3 as well. So seems like a really good badge, and I think this year they combined a few badges together, but Shifty Shooter is a badge that a lot of people are talking about. So I went up to 72 to get that on gold. And then just because I felt like, well, 75 feels like I don't know how much agility you do or don't need, because I've never played this game before. 75 was just a number I felt comfortable with, of being like, this has got to be enough, right? Like at bare minimum, this has to be enough, right? So I went to 75, but at the very least, if you're building this or whatever, I'd go to 72 for that shifty shooter. But if it were me, I'd do what I did and I'd go to 75 just to be safe. Now, 84 strength. If you made this build without strength, it would be insane. If you made this build without strength, you would get way higher dunking, you'd get way higher perimeter, you'd get higher steal. You'd probably have a 90 in dunking, a 90 in steal or perimeter. You could probably be a little bit faster too, and your shooting, I don't even think you'd have to change it. So if you make the build without strength, which this was the same as last year, like if you made a build with strength, it definitely changed it a lot, but I think it changed it a lot more. This year, like this is a 6-7, and I'm a floor spacing slasher, but I feel like better. Like I think a little bit better. I don't remember what the shooting they got on those floor spacing slashers, but I don't know. This feels good, but either way, 84 strength is where I went just because I wanted something with strength again. Again, like I told you guys, I think that strength and height is going to play a role. Plus, I just like strength. I liked it last year, so I wanted to feel it out this year too. And it's kind of tradition for me to make a LeBron build first thing right off the rip and just put an absurd amount of strength into it just to see and kind of be like LeBron and bully and just push people. So it's fun. Maybe it's not the best, but it's fun, and having fun is important and kind of why we play this game to begin with, right? So I went with the 84 strength specifically because that's going to give me that strong handle Hall of Fame. I don't know if that badge is worth it. I don't know, but I went ahead and went to it because why not? And I knew I wanted strength on this build, like off the rip, and that I was going to invest into it high kind of no matter what. So I did it. Now, if I put up higher rebound, which I probably could have budgeted for, I would have got box out be silver. So that probably would have been nicer. I probably could have put defensive lower because I think I invested it higher. Or no, it has to be there. I went with the 84 strength. That's going to get me the strong handles Hall of Fame. Now, I don't know if that badge is worth it, but I knew I wanted to invest into strength on this build regardless. So I went with 84. Now, I probably could have budgeted better. Maybe. Because if I would have just got this offensive rebound up to 70, I would have got box out be silver, which probably would have been better. But I think I didn't do that because I was like, well, since I'm making it at the 2, I'm not really going to be down there that much. I'm just going to invest into the rebound a little bit just to have it. And since I already have vertical, so maybe that's why I didn't do it. But if you were making this build, maybe that's something to consider for you. If that's, if you're going to put it at the 3 or 4, that's something to consider. But 84 strength is what I went with. And mainly because I knew at the very least, I'd want to be around 84, 85, because that's what it was last year. And the strong handles at Hall of Fame, I was like, okay, well then I'll just go 84 because brick wall, I want silver for sure, just for random screens whenever. So, and immovable enforcer, I know I want silver as well. So like, if I go to, at 79, I'm getting post powerhouse silver, which is going to help me in the post. And I have a high post control, so I wanted that. And then if you go up to 82, you get the immovable enforcer. So it's like, well, that's only a few points away. And then if you go up to 83, you get the brick wall. And then if you go up to 84, you get the strong handle. So I was just like, yeah, all of those are worth it for me. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And then last, we've got vertical at 75. Again, I don't really know why it's good. I just hear all the people better than me at this game saying that it's good, and that 87, 75 is kind of like that threshold at the bare minimum if you're going to be a slasher and want to dunk. So I went with it, but at 75, you're getting the silver posterizer, which we could put to gold if we want. And at 74, I'm getting the high flying denier to pair with my blocks, so I'm gonna want that. So I'm just gonna listen to what everyone else is saying, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So this is the build. Now, I'm showing you guys some content of it playing and how it plays, and I've enjoyed it so far. Again, I've only played for like 12 hours, but I'm just sharing with you guys what I've kind of learned, seen in those past 12 hours of gameplay, and what to expect, and maybe hopefully helping you understand a few things a little bit better. But if not, just getting back into the flow of YouTube so that I can talk with you guys and make videos again, because 2K25 is out. And to be honest, guys, I wasn't gonna come back. I know how the longevity and the life of 2K is, but I was investing so much time in playing, and then it was, when it died out, I was still investing the time into playing, and I was just like, I was just worn out. So I was like, you know what? I don't have to do this. I was doing it just for fun, and right now it's not fun, so I'm gonna stop. But then after I stopped for a bit, I was like, well, why would I go back to like making videos? Like, I'm doing a lot of other stuff now, so why do that? But then you guys were commenting, and it means a lot, and it's super cool to see. So I was getting comments from you guys saying like, hey, are you coming back for 2K25? Need content from you. And thank you. And it wasn't a ton. It was like 3 or 4 comments, but thank you for those, because I am back and I'm playing with the friends and it is fun. And I really do enjoy talking with you guys and stuff. It's just like when you don't do something long enough, you're like, well, why do it? Like, I don't need to. It's not making me money. Like, I don't need it to make me money. I'm just doing it for fun. But that's why you do it. It's for fun. So I get to be here. I get to talk to you guys. And I appreciate you guys for commenting and sharing some love and you know, liking this content. I'm glad that I'm able to make content that is actually good enough for you guys to consume and learn from and actually be viable and worth it. So thank you guys for bringing me back. We're back, 2K25. We're gonna do this as long as the lifespan of the game lasts, you know, but not really sure how long that's gonna be. But either way, that is the build. Now, I do have a 7-1 video coming for you guys for Jay Sandy. And don't leave, we're gonna jump into my SIGS and all of that as well. But what I wanna say is, Jay Sandy's Big Man 7-1 will be having a video drop like tomorrow or the next day with all his SIGS, jumper, and everything as well. But keep this in mind, we don't know what's good. And I've said that a bunch in this video, and you guys know that, obviously, but we don't know what's good. I'm gonna give you my SIGS, and it's gonna give you a starting point, but we don't know if they're good. Like, this has been, it's been a day. So I'm gonna give you a starting point, and even my starting point was Koza. I just watched Koza, saw what SIGS he was using. He has a 6-7, very similar to mine. He's got way higher ball handle and other animations like that I can't get, but majority of the SIGS that he's running are what I'm running, if not all. I definitely changed my fader. I used DeMar DeRozan's, which I'll show you guys, but just keep that in mind. I'm not giving you guys this stuff and saying that it's good and it's the meta. We don't know what the meta is. I'm just giving you guys a starting point and letting you know what I'm currently using as well, but it's all gonna be trial and error. By the time you're watching this video, I've probably already swapped some things. Not my jumper is gonna stay, but I probably already swapped some animations because I found something that worked a little bit better for me or that I liked better, or I don't even know if I like it, I'm just trying it. So I do know that the jumper won't change because I went through 4 jumpers, or I went through 4 or 5 jumpers before getting this jumper, which Thaddy actually found this jumper or made this jumper or whatever. And this one is what's working for me, but maybe it won't work for you. But a lot of people are using Jarrett Culver base, and I've seen a lot of D Booker upper releases. But you guys have TikTok, you guys have YouTube, you guys know all of this. If my jumper doesn't work for you, there's plenty of people who have already dropped the best jump shots already. They don't know if they're the best, but they're probably not horrible. And when it comes down to it, you just need to try a bunch of different shit and see what works for you. So go for it. Now, we are going to jump into my SIGS now. I'm gonna show them to you, my jumper and all of that, and then we're gonna close up the video, but I appreciate you guys. Let's get into it. Oh, also, sorry, this is a shot creating 3-level threat. Who'd have thought that I'd make a shot creating 3-level threat? That's every single build I made last year, and it might be the same this year. But this gets shades of Jim Jackson, Herbert Jones, and I'm not gonna pronounce his name correctly, but pretty sure that guy's a really good shooter. So pretty sweet build. I like it. Shot creating 3-level threats are really good builds. It's just a boring name. But when I made this build at small forward, which nothing changed because I had the same height and everything, it actually got shades of, I have it here. It was still a shot creating 3-level threat, but it got shades of Corey Maggette. I don't know who that is, but Jimmy Butler and Jaime Jaquez Jr. So pretty cool. All in all, I think it makes sense. I think they're really good shades, and like Jimmy Butler and Jaime Jaquez Jr. are totally like shades of how this build plays in terms of the post and whatnot. So I think that, and the defense. So I think that's really good, and that's probably why it got the shades of them. They obviously don't shoot as well, I wouldn't say. Jimmy had a really good shooting year last year, but being a fan of the Miami Heat and watching him, it didn't feel like a good shooting year, and he didn't shoot that much. So it just depends how you look at it. But either way, they obviously don't finish at the rim the way LeBron does, but still, the post game and the defense is there. So I think good shades, and I think it makes sense. That being said, let's jump into the SIGS and all that, and you guys can get out of here and I'll stop bothering you. Okay, so let's jump into the animation, SIGS, and all of that. So my jump shot, I will show it to you guys in a second, but free throw Michael Jordan, layup style, default small. Now default small, I'll show you a couple of clips of layups if I haven't showed you already, but I've been watching other people and they've like very impressed with what default small has to offer. Now I was already on default small last year. You guys know I talked very highly of default small, and it was good. I feel like this year it's even better, and I'll show you a couple animations that I got that were very like Yankee, like yoink, like freaking pulled you right up to the rim, and they were good. And now I don't have any layup, and I missed majority of those layups, but I think it's going to be very, very viable. And I know people were saying like layups and stuff are nerfed. I don't think they're nerfed. I think they're not as cheesy, like the LeBron pulling you from the free throw line or DeMar DeRozan pulling you even from a little bit further, but like they're not that cheesy, which is a good thing. But I still think they're very, very viable, and I think they're actually going to be very, very good, because everything for me so far just feels more realistic. Like when you're in game and you shoot and someone's in front of you, you're like, depending on what side of it you're on, if you're in front of them, you're like, what the heck, I was there. And if you're the one shooting, you're like, how am I getting a contest, right? So be honest with yourself, right? But if you watch a real game, which I assume you guys do, shots like that are being made all the time. Curry's running around and launching stuff at random all the time. Now, when people do it in the game, it's more annoying, yes, but I feel like a lot of realistic conversions at the rim are happening from what I've seen in the past games so far that I've played. So I like the way that it's playing out so far, but it's only been a day. So I can't just say that as fact, and I'm not, but I still think they're gonna be viable, and I think it's gonna be fun. But you guys don't care, that's not what you're here to talk about. Dunk style, I don't have any because I don't have my dunk invested into yet. We will do an update build, but go-to shot. Now these are interesting. I had to look it up in the 2K menus to figure out how to use it. If you hold right trigger and you hold up on your stick, your guy will go into an animation that is his go-to shot. Now I have Jimmy Butler, so this is the animation. So if you hold up on your stick, he will do this whole animation, the whole thing. Now you can cancel it at any time, and that's going to be where stuff, so like really these are going to be like the blend, or finding what's good is going to be finding a go-to shot itself that actually gets open and is good, but also that can cancel out well so you can speed boost out of it or go wherever. I think it's kind of how it's going to end up working out, but I'm running Jimmy Butler. I like it, so this is what I'm running. But the go-to shot, just so you know, if you're holding right trigger and you literally just hold up on the right stick, you go into this, and then you can let go of the right stick and cancel it and then do whatever, or you can just continue to hold the right stick and you'll go into almost like a hop shot with the stick, kind of, but with a couple more animations to it. So that's what go-to shot is. Dribble pull up, I'm going with DeMar DeRozan. Now, I've tried these. A lot of people are using normal 2. I've seen normal 2 look really, really good on someone's, and I don't know why it looked so good on theirs. They had a 6'6". I tried it and it was horrible. I hated it. Kevin Durant's looks good. What I'm looking for in a dribble pull-up is a fader. Like, not a dribble, like a literal pull-up, like just when they, like that I don't like. But when they do the fade, which I like DeMar DeRozan's, that's his right fade. His left fade is better. But there it is. Boom, left fade. So I like DeMar DeRozan's. When I'm looking for a dribble pull-up, I'm looking for a fader, because when I do this shot specifically, when I do my dribble pull-ups, it's like on a fast break and I run to the baseline and pull a fader and create separation from the defender, or if I'm just working in the mid-range and create a fader to continue my movement in whatever direction I'm going and catch the fade. So I went with DeMar DeRozan. I've really, really liked it. I'll show you guys some clips of it if I haven't already, or I'll just re-show them here. But I like the DeMar DeRozan fade. Michael Jordan is one that Koza is running for sure, and I've seen quite a few other people running Michael Jordan's. I haven't seen anyone running Kevin Durant's. I just thought that it looked good, so I was going to try it out. But I think the timing's really hard to time, is what Sandy was saying, because he tried it out. I really like DeMar DeRozan, and I've seen someone use normal 2 and it looked really, really good, but when I tried it, it was horrible and disgusting. So that's what I look for when I look at dribble pull-up. And like I said, you literally just open up the menus, like the animation store, and you have to go through here. And yes, you have to take your time and watch everyone's animation to see which one you think works best for you. And then you buy them, and then you go into my court and you try them out one at a time. And then you have to back out, and then you have to leave my court, put on a new animation, and go back in. But if you want animations in, you've got to put a little bit of time in, or just watch videos like you're watching now and probably get good animations there. But the game's only been out for a day, so I don't know. Spin jumper, I went Kyle Kuzma. Hop jumper, Zach LaVine. I'm not sold on my hop jumper. Spin jumper is cool. I don't really use them very much. Post fade, I went with LeBron, just because I have a LeBron build, so I went with it, to be honest. Post hook, I've never used post hooks, but Shaq's looked pretty glitchy, so I went with it. Post hop shot, I went with pro. Now this one, last year I used Kobe post hop shot, and it was really good, if you guys have seen, and I have a hop shot that I did, but it is really good at literally doing the big jump, creating separation, and then going immediately into the shot. I tried Harrison Barnes. I didn't like it. I tried Devin Booker, which was decent last year, but I didn't love it last year either. And I really didn't like it this year. So I tried it and I was hating it. It just takes too long. He does like those extra steps, whereas like on pro, for me, it feels as close to Kobe's post hop shot that I have available, because I don't get that many available. These are the only ones I have available in the store. So I don't know why that is, but it is what it is. So my post hop shot, I went with pro, and this is it, the animation. I don't really like that one. but I like that one. And then the one going to the right like that is good. That's the one I want. And that's very similar to Kobe's from last year. And the timing feels similar and I was hitting them. So I went with Pro, and that's why. Motion style, again, just winging it here. I randomly picked this dude just because he looked fast when I was looking through the motion styles, but I didn't feel like taking the time of going through all of them, and no one else has it figured out yet, so that's one I'm just gonna wait on. Koza's running DeMar DeRozan, so I tried DeMar DeRozan, but I personally felt clunkier than I felt with this random ass one. Could just be a placebo, I don't know, but I'm running this one. You guys can run whatever you want. Pass style, I went with Paolo, and they've been good passes. Now, Sabonis was good last year, especially for low pass. I've gone with Paolo, and actually I forgot this, and I've enjoyed my passes that I've gotten. I actually went with Paolo because I saw Joey 2K was running it on one of his builds when I was watching him live stream. He showed it, so I was like, oh, I'll just try that, because I don't get that many either. I get Ant, I get Ja Morant, but I don't like that from Ant. That one looks nice. That looks nice. But not really known for his passing. Sabonis obviously known for better passing. And Paolo, I don't know, but Joey's running and I liked it. So I went with that. Dribble style, I went with Zach LaVine again. That's because of Koza. Signature size up, Kawhi Leonard, Koza. Regular breakdown combo, Koza. Koza does not use Jimmy Butler escape moves. He used Kobe because he has higher ball handle and can get it. I can't get Kobe. So if you can get Kobe, maybe try that. Watch Koza's videos. He talks about it. Combo moves. This is all because of Koza. So all of this is because of Koza, but these are the animations. I think I changed my hezi to Tatum, and I actually really like Jason Tatum hesitation. Koza had like Larry Bird or Paul George, I think, but I liked Jason Tatum. It just, I don't know. It worked. I like longer hezis, whereas so like Larry Bird's, this is the one Koza was using, is like really short. Now that's good for people like Koza because you're just gonna jump to the right and then snatch or cancel or whatever and do all this stuff. I like longer ones because I'm more like flowy and I suck and don't know how to dribble for real. So I like a longer extension and getting some flow out of my defender before then I snatch it or then I go somewhere else or just pass out. Like if I just drag them this way so that I can make a pass that way or whatever it is. So I went with Jason Tatum. I changed that last night and I actually really like it and enjoy it. So that's just personal preference again though. Step back, that's because of Koza, but I went Halliburton. And triple threat, I went Joel Embiid because that's what it was last year. Joel Embiid's triple threat, he stands straight up. So they say for catch and shoots, when you catch it, you're not like, because when you catch a ball and you immediately go into your triple threat. So if you have a triple threat that sits lower or like bends over, when you catch the ball, you might start doing this before you go up for the jumper, whereas Embiid stays pretty upright. So when you catch it, you can kind of go right into your motion. I don't know if that's true, but that's what we did last year. That's what I heard last year. So that's what I've been doing since then. These emotes are just emotes or whatever. So that is what it is. And now to the jumper. These are all 2, 3, 4. The one, I thought. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it took me 5 jumpers to get to this jumper. I'm not going to show you guys the other jumpers because I didn't like them. I'll show you the first one. I'll give you 2 jumpers. I'm using Colt. This is the one I'm using. Torian Prince, and this is from Thaddy. Thaddy gave me this. Now, I have my shooting set to set point. Not just right here as you can see it like in the blend, but I actually have in my settings set point chosen as my like release shot cue or whatever. So this is a jump shot. Torian Prince, Oscar Robertson, Sadiq Bey. I am halfway between set point and push, and a release speed maxed out every year, and blend is 60-40. I put it on last night, and I had a game last night where I had like 10 or 15 points and like 6 assists and 6 rebounds, and I didn't record it because the 5 games before that, I was like, legit, I had like a 1 for 12 game, and that was on my other jumper, and I just wasn't figuring it out. So the game I switched to this one, I immediately was hitting, and then I hit every game after. Hopefully I still hit today, but I really like this jumper. Thaddy showed me this, came up with this, I'm not sure, but he's the one who gave it to me. But he's one of the greenest like spot up shooters, the greenest spot up shooter that we have, and he was running this. I typically don't go with his jumpers because he's very spot up, and I usually go off of the dribble. But right now, this is what's working for me in 2K25. I'm loving it, and it feels very good. And I hate Torian Prince's jumper, and last year I tried it and I hated it, and I the reason I tried so many jumpers before this one, as you saw in my jump shot creator, was because I didn't want to use his base. But I ended up using it and I'm hitting and it feels great and it feels way better than my other one. That being said, I'll still share with you guys the first jumper that I did. The blend, honestly, I think initially it was 70-30, but that's gonna be just preference anyways. But Jarrett Culver, Oscar Robertson, Troy Brown Jr. Now, this isn't anything special or new. I've seen a lot of people running this. I've seen it on TikTok. I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen it on lives. I've seen it on posts. I've seen all of that. There's jump shot videos if you guys want jump shots or people who have put more time into jump shots. I haven't. I've just done the time that I've had to do them to find my own. But that being said, this was one I was using before and I was green with it initially, but consistency for me, it just wasn't it. So I swapped it. Also, something that I did new on the other one is I put the blend halfway between set point and push, which made the biggest difference for me. I don't know why, I don't see what it does, but it made the biggest difference for me, and that's how the other shot is, and I'm consistent on that. So there's that. But this is the other jump shot. But again, I'm using Colt, the one that I showed to you before. So that being said, that is it. I appreciate you guys and all of the support. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys tomorrow or the next day with the 7-1 center build from Jay Sandy. It's his Chet build, but we might make it look like Cameron Brink because why not? People are running around with Caitlin Clark builds. We're going to run around with a Cameron Brink. But 7-1 video coming for you guys tomorrow. And then after that, maybe a Thaddy video, or maybe we'll jump into a jump shot video or something like that. But the more I learn, the more I will post. And I'm really stoked to get into this year because last year I didn't start doing YouTube videos until like season 3 or 4. This is my first year ever on 2K. It's only my 3rd year ever on 2K, but this is my first year on YouTube with 2K where I'm starting right at the beginning with everything. So we'll see how this year goes and we'll see how you guys like it and whatnot. So I appreciate you guys. Catch you in the next one.